Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lynn. Please subscribe to join the tribe. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing how to successfully apply to the Nigerian Law School Bar Part 1 program. So this video is going to address a lot of key points, okay, starting from what the Bar Part 1 program is all about and who qualifies for that or people in which it applies to. Secondly, we're going to talk about where to find the application form. Then we're going to talk about the various kinds of forms because they're actually different and how to successfully fill those forms and how to submit them so you can set yourself on the path to success to getting the admission. All right, so also there's going to be a bonus point at the end concerning the qualifications, so don't click off when you get the information you need. You might need more. All right, so before we get right into it, you might want to save this video, copy the link, and share to your friends because it's going to be very, very important. I'm going to be sharing a lot of value in this video. Okay, so let's get right into it. Firstly, what does the Nigerian Bar Part 1 program even entail? What is it even about? Okay, so this program is particularly for people or persons who did not study in Nigeria. So if you're coming from a common law jurisdiction or a civil law jurisdiction, any country at all, and you want to be called to the Nigerian bar, the Bar Part 1 program is very, very important, and it's even mandatory for you to be called to bar. So after the completion from the Bar Part 1 program and you pass the exams, then you can advance to the Bar Part 2 program. The Bar Part 1 program runs for at least 4 months at most. Yeah, 5. At least 4 months, at most 5 months. In my time, it was 4 months. So let's get right into it. Can you find the application forms? Basically, you don't see a lot of information concerning Nigerian law school that easily. Even on their website, there's no like stagnant date or information as to when this application forms or applications are going to be open. So my advice to you is to follow like credible social media networks that can remind you that okay, the application or admission process has been open. So one I recommend is going to be the Nigerian Legal Network on Twitter and Instagram. They are very credible and valuable, that ones I've been following, and I can assure you they don't give fake news as compared to the rest who maybe sometimes they even go out of posting and everything. So you can follow them, and when you see that they've announced the applications are now open, you go to the Nigerian Law School website. In that place, you go to the menu, admissions, Bar Part 1 program. At that side, you see the application forms. Okay, the application has different forms that apply to different persons at different times. So it's very important that you know what form applies to you and how to fill them so you are not found wanting. So we have the form A1, we have form B, we have form B1, form B2, and then the medical form. So now let's get to the first most serious one. I have a sample here of my form A1. This is a photocopy I kept. So this is just like the basic application. It has to do with your regular information, your name, your middle name, your last name, your sex, where you are from, your email address, what school you studied at, next of kin, all of those. So one, and then maybe declarations as to whether you've been convicted for any offense regarding any criminal offense or any offense regarding malpractice. So no, this form is also going to include your university. So this particular form, all forms on the website has to be printed out, okay, and then filled. There is no such thing as digital filling of Nigerian law school forms. Do you understand? So once you get you download your form A1, you print it out, and I advise you please have photocopies of every print or any form you filled. So an important thing to note about this form A1 is the fact or the part where it has to be stamped by the Commission of Oaths. Now, this is very, very important. And the Commission of Oaths, I think this is just like to accredit what you've written to say, okay, this is actually correct. So wherever you are, if you're in Nigeria or if you're really back in Nigeria, you can find the Commission of Oaths in any state and then let them stamp this for you. So once they stamp one copy, be sure to photocopy at least 3 of these because you have to submit this to Nigerian law school, but we'll get to that later. So let's keep treating the other forms. So moving on, we have form B. Now, form B is talking about the head of law faculties or reference on applicants. Now this applies to everyone, including the Form A. So in case you're following, Form A applies to every applicant going to the Nigerian law school, whether you're a fresh graduate, whether you're a worker, you're just taking leave or something, it applies to you. Form B applies to entails the head of faculty and reference on applicants, right? This, they also call it the dean's form. So this is supposed to be filled by the dean of the faculty in which you are coming from. So if, let's say, you studied in Ghana, University of Ghana, for instance, the faculty of law dean for University of Ghana has to fill this form themselves, and this form has to attach your original transcripts or photocopies of your transcript and send to Nigerian law school by the school, not you yourself doing it. It has to come from your school. So in my instance, my school already knows the process on how all this works, so I had to pay them the fee for the transcript and also the fee for transporting it from Ghana to Nigeria. So I didn't have any problem with that. So make sure that they send you even the tracking number, so you be sure that okay, your documents are being sent. So now you understand. Form B is for the dean of faculty, and he has to send it to just transcript. You can't send it yourself. From A1, you send it yourself, but we'll get to that. All right. So moving on, we have Form B1. Now, Form B1 relates to employers, employees, and reference on applicants. So let's say you started working and you want to take a leave from your office to go study, or let's say you've been caught by in a different jurisdiction, you're already working actively somewhere and you want to move to Nigeria and then undertake the BAR Part 1 program. Maybe in this instance you cannot fill the dean's form. This can also apply to you. So if you're a fresh out graduate and you've not had any work experience, this does not apply to you. You have to leave it. So once you fill this, it has to also be sent by your employer to the law school. So moving on, we have B2. So Form B2 is almost similar to Form B1. It relates to letter of release to study at Nigerian law school. This can apply to government organizations where there's a declaration that, oh, this person has been released to go and study at Nigerian law school, blah, 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 and is sent directly to the Nigerian law school. So the last form is the medical form. Now, the medical form is very important because this is the only form that is going to verify you or allow you to gain access into the hostels. So the medical forms has to be filled by a medical practitioner from a federal or government hospital. Now, let me just advise you to please avoid Wusi hospitals, especially if you don't have connection there. I'm telling you, this is unrelated, but I have a video about it where I spent a whole week trying to get this medical form to be filled, and it was so stressful. So if you can get it in a different hospital that is faster, please do so. Okay. How can I successfully apply to the Nigerian Law School BAR Part 1 program? So filling the Form A1 is very essential. They are all crucial actually. So once you're done with the basic ones, the Form A1, which I have here, has to be submitted directly to the Nigerian Law School. Now, people might be mistaken as to what address to submit them to. It's not to the post office. Okay. It has to be submitted at the admissions office at the headquarters in Buhari, Abuja. So when you're done filling it, it has already been started by Commission of Oaths. Please have copies of this because you might need it in your registration. Then have someone submit it for you. In my instance, my friend was not in Abuja at the time. She was in Lagos. So I had to help her submit her form. So having someone submit your form for you is not a problem. Okay. What is important is that such form reaches the office. And then the medical form applies when you've been given full admission, and you're going to bring that medical form to the registration day. All right. So I have a video on how to register, the documents you need for registration on that particular day, which is going to be different from my application video. So you can also check that out. All right. So moving on to the dean's form, it has to be sent by the dean of your faculty directly. Same applies to Form B1 and B2 from private organizations or public organizations, as the case might be. All right. And advice to you, please make copies of all these forms. Okay. So one may ask, who qualifies to apply to the Nigerian law school? Actually, anyone qualifies, whether you are from a common law jurisdiction, civil law jurisdiction, it doesn't matter. What matters is that some of your courses that you offer the universities are in line with what the Nigerian law school accepts. So, for instance, the Nigerian law school is actually supposed to teach you 8 subjects, which are, permit me to go to my phone because it's a lot of information. So we have commercial law, contract law, constitutional law, criminal law, land law, equity and succession, torts. How many have I mentioned now? See, you're not even counting. So those 8 core subjects has to be part of your core subject or part of what you offer in your university. So now, if you don't have any of those 8 subjects, then that's fine. You come and then do them as a remedial course in your university. So if you are still in university and you have a chance, maybe in your final year, maybe if you can offer those courses, please do them before coming here. You don't want to have extra on your plate. So generally, the amount of courses that are going to be offered in the Nigerian law school are just 4 important ones. It's constitutional law, land law, criminal law, and Nigerian legal system. Now, if maybe you did not study torts or contracts in your university. I mean, contracts is always taught. That's like a basic. So let's say you did not study torts or commercial law or equity and succession law and trust, then you offer it as a remedial. So for me, I'll offer like 4 subjects if I have those other subjects for my university degree. But if you don't have it, you offer 5. So you can imagine that's extra books, extra lecture, extra stress. Okay, you get it? Don't guys forget about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends, guys. There's hardly any video like this online, so you're welcome. And also, I have other videos on my law school playlist which shows you how to successfully register so you're not so stressed, and how to get accommodations, how the accommodation on campus looks, and like vlogs on how the school is. If you want to enjoy that and if you want to see that, check out my videos. Don't forget the code of conduct though. And please subscribe to my channel. Till next time. Bye.